In this video, we're going to take a quick look at the Smallrig 2343 Universal SSD Mount. What I really like about this is they give you everything you need in the box to mount pretty much any SSD from about 1 inch wide to 2.5 inches wide on a camera. So this is really handy for a camera like the Lumix S52X if you want to create a sleek and minimal rig that allows you to record directly to an SSD. So in the box, you do get this clamp. It also has a cold shoe mount, so you can slide this directly on the hot shoe on your camera, and you can very easily lock it on, and then you can put your SSD directly on top. And there's also a clamp for your USB-C cable, and this is really nice because this makes sure that the cable doesn't come loose from your SSD. So what I like about this, you can choose to use it with a cage, and you can slide it on to the cold shoe mount on a cage, and then you can lock it down really easily. There's these slots on top of the collar as well. You can use that to get it tool tight, where it's going to be able to stay in place really well. One of the other things I love about this clamp is the fact that you can easily thread it directly onto your cage, so then you don't have to worry about it sliding off with the cold shoe. You can put it on the top, on the side of a cage. If you got a full cage, you could also put it on the right side as well. So if you don't want this to be removable from the cage, you can just screw it straight onto your cage where you don't have to worry about it coming off. Or you can also screw it to the bottom side of your camera if you don't need to use your tripod plate on it. So that's a good way to have a minimal handheld rig with this. If you don't want to use the SSD clamp, this also can be removed just with the thumb screw on it. And then if you need to reposition it, there's a bunch of different slots where you can move the cable clamp. So no matter what SSD you have, anywhere from 1 inch to about 2.5 inches, you should have no problem with getting the cable clamp lined up on it. I tested this with several SSDs. This fits the Crucial X9 and X10 Pro super well, holds it really great, and it's so lightweight. Also tested it with the Samsung T7. This is another SSD that works fantastically on this. You could also use this with the T9 or the T7 Shield if you want to have a little bit beefier SSD that's going to weigh a little bit more, but also going to be more drop resistant. And then I also have this Satechi USB enclosure that I tested this with. This is a thinner enclosure, and it had no issues fitting it as well. Holds it very tight. It's not going anywhere. I do really like the SanDisk Professional Pro Blade ecosystem. Unfortunately, the Pro Blade transport does not fit. It's too wide, so that's not going to be able to fit on the clamp. If you want to use a larger SSD, then you might look into getting a power bank clamp instead. What I love about this is this makes it such a sleek and minimal recording rig where you can write directly to affordable SSDs on your camera like the Lumix S52, S52X, a bunch of different Blackmagic cameras as well support this functionality. So I highly recommend the Smallrig 2343 Universal SSD clamp. If you're interested in buying one of these, I have links in the description below. If you have any other questions about this clamp, leave a comment down below. I'll do my best to answer it. Like this video, subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any upcoming content.